Hey, welcome to the community. As always, JB here. Super pumped that you're with me today. Huge announcement for those of you using reMarkable 2, and that is that we are taking our Get It Done Now system and structure and giving it to you for free, the planning system, and it's actually an interactive planning system. We've never done that for your reMarkable 2 device or your iPad or your books or your Supernote, or even if you want to do software, we now have Evernote templates. We've teamed up with Evernote to create some templates that work within the framework of our system. So it's a great planning system. It's a great organizational system that you can get and we can work together on. It's over at morningcoach.com. All you got to do is download it and we'll get started, and I want to get into it. But I want to answer the question why I would do this. Well, number one, I want to help you live your best life. That's what we do. That's my job. That's what I've been doing for almost over 18 years. Second reason is, obviously we have a business and we're coaches. That's what we do. We've got great people. We've helped people all over the world. We've got an international base of just awesome people. And we have programs that are very affordable and they're really cool and they're fun. And I work with it every day. And those programs are awesome. And you might get involved with them. Small percentage of people that will utilize our system will jump into our planning system. Also, we do retreats and masterminds. Be a small percentage of people that want to do that. So it's the old adage of giving value, giving stuff out, and there will be a group of people that will respect and value what we're doing, and that's awesome. And even if you don't want to come join our programs and you love what we're doing, hit a thumbs up because it helps us, and subscribe and hit that alert bell because you're going to want to get updates anyways, and that also supports us as we put this energy of 18 years and Ph.D. and my MBA really working on this and building a system for you that you can utilize. By the way, if you don't want to join us and you just want to get the planning system and work, I'd still do a Monday free CoachCast every Monday. You can get that if you just search for Morning Coach on your iPad or on your Apple, or if you're into podcasts, you can find that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get in the reMarkable 2 now. Let's start breaking down this planner. And again, make sure you hit the subscribe and alert bell because I'm going to show you how to use the iPad, the books, the Supernote, and then of course we got that Evernote template playlist that you can check out too if you're into software. So all of this is here for you, and then you can go get it at morningcoach.com. So download the template, go to morningcoach.com, or download the planner, interactive planner, and then let's get into this. So let's jump into the reMarkable 2 and take a look at what we're doing. Okay, welcome inside the reMarkable here. I want to show you first thing as we get into this, you can see that I use a numbering system, 01, or 00, 01, 02, 03, 04 to organize folders. I think that's really important that you recognize that, and I always sort on alphabetical. That keeps everything nice and clean and organized. So if we go into planning, first thing you want to do is obviously go to morningcoach.com, get the interactive planner, and then you're going to want to download it into the device. And then what you're going to want to do is rename it. So I would hit rename and do 00.23, and then get the planner so you've got it. Okay, so then you've renamed it. That way it'll be on top. I will go over in a future video what some of those other planning devices are that I use. Okay, the next thing I do is I minimize my toolbar, and then I just start going through the planner. Let's go ahead and go through it. As you can see, it's called Get It Done Now. And this is going to give you a game plan of what we do over at morningcoach.com and our coaching system. These are topics I use. Again, if you don't want to join us, that's fine. You can use the planner, but you can also listen to the Monday CoachCast and kind of use this to guide you in the things that you're doing and the way that you want to study and organize your life, especially like these questions in December. When you first get the planner, I don't care if it's December or not, these are great questions to ask. What would I change about the year? How do I work less and make more? How do I do more things that give me energy? And those are questions I ask every year when I'm planning. But these are some of the planning systems that we do, and we work in quarters, as you can see. And then we check our mission annually, our values biannually, our goals quarterly, our projects monthly, or when completed. And again, I'll get into that a little bit as we get into the planner. Again, highly interactive planner. We come in here, we use what's called the PDCA cycle. My years of aerospace brought this together with my engineering and metaphysical background to create this system. We typically plan in December, as you can see it here. But again, you can plan at any time. And then what we're doing is a check, act, cycle. You will learn more about about that as we get into this, but this is all set up for that, okay? Then we have our focus clarity. This is where we're actually doing our actual planning. We do a mission for a year. It's like, what do we want to accomplish? Let's put somebody on the moon. That's what Kennedy said. That's kind of like the mission we're talking about here. We have an ILD lifestyle number. This is kind of getting deeper into my system, but it's something you should know. And that's, how do you create residual and passive income? And what is your monthly number to have true freedom? They've always said that there's like this, FU money. You have so much money, you don't have to worry about money. Well, there's also a lifestyle number. And it's when you create residual and passive income so you don't have to worry about money and you create that lifestyle, okay? We also have a main mission. This is an annual mission. This is just more than an annual. This is your lifelong mission that we discuss. What are you really trying to accomplish with your life? This can take years to come up with, but as you use this system, year after year, you're going to get better at it. But that main mission will finally come clear, and it'll help you then break down an annual mission, which then will help us break all this down as we get into it. Values are very critical. A lot of people have never done a values exercise, but understanding your values are really important because you can use them for decision making. Like when I was in corporate running a company, I felt really bad because I was making a ton of money and I felt bad. Felt guilty about that. But the truth was, my number one value is freedom, and I wasn't living a free life. And so I had to start doing things to create freedom in my life. Freedom, faith, and family are my top three. And once I got that freedom, my life started to change dramatically. Top goals, and the reason why, a goal without a why is a wish. And so we want to make sure we have goals that feed into our mission. These are what are going to take us to our mission, and so we need those. And then, of course, if you've read my book, The Sacred Six, we understand the Sacred Six projects are so critical, and we don't want to have more than six. Most people have too many. And the breakdown typically is this for most people. Why they're not living the life they want to live or living their best life is because they're not clear about where they want to go, and they don't know what they're working on. And that's my job. I want to help you change that and then get some daily tasks that are going to lead you to live your best life yet. A couple other things. We get into this. We're going to go into our key performance indicators here. These are things that we're going to measure with our goals, and we just write those down. Something we're getting into more this year as we evolve our system. We've been doing this for almost 18 years now, but we're really getting into KPIs and OKRs, and they're really important. In fact, working at a 90-day cycle can really help you out. Life rules, these are also really great. For example, one of mine is 2 vacations a year, 3 masterminds a year, spend 5 weeks away. That's a life rule of mine. Not wearing a tie, even though that was one when I left corporate that's kind of coming. It's not really there anymore, but it was a life rule for me. But these are things that are principles that are really important to you. You keep track of those here. System needs are really important. This is the parts of the system you're going to use. We have a to-do list. We have a CRM where you keep your contacts. Could be your phone. I'm fine with that. If you watch the Evernote template, I go into this a little bit more detail. But where do you keep your notes? Probably the reMarkable 2. To-do list, probably the reMarkable 2. Consistency, probably reMarkable 2. And that's great. Calendar, maybe Google Calendar, Apple Calendar. Wins recorder, probably here. And your journal, maybe here or maybe handwritten. But these are key components of our overall Get It Done Now system that you need. Again, trusted advisor circle. This is another piece of this that, who's your lawyer, who's your doctor, who's your accountant, who's your coach, who's your business advisor. Anybody that's successful has people in their corner that are fighting for them, and you got to make sure you're building your support team as you grow and develop. Okay, now we're into the planner. This is where it gets 100% interactive. This is the home page. As you can see, we have all the months here, and every page has a home. This is where you're going to go back to. A couple things before we get into the month is that these notes are interactive, meaning they're linked. You just click them. I like to use my finger, and when you click it, it's going to take you to the note. Let me get to the hyperlink there, and that's going to take you to a note at the back, and you can just keep a note. Again, you can hit back to page 10, or you can go to home. And basically, you've got 50 notes here that you can keep as you're planning and doing things, and then have a table of contents. This is really handy in keeping track of things throughout the year. The other feature of this is the decision-making template. This is part of my coaching program that I've used for years. A lot of people come to me with tough decisions we got to make, and here we're going to do the Ben Franklin. That's where we're going to write the pros and cons down. I've got some questions I'm going to ask you, and then we're going to see if the values match. And this little sheet is great when you've got a tough decision to make to see if we're matched and we're on point, okay? So again, we just go back to home, just click home. we're now back home. Now we can go into any month that we want to. We can go into January, for example. And here you're going to see the topics that we do discuss. I have the Monday topics, which we do for free. You can always go to Morning Coach on any podcast player and listen to those. We do that 365 days of the year. And then 52 weeks, we do a free one. And then the rest of the week, I do every single day. So you can work with me if you go over to morningcoach.com and join Ignite or Freedom. But it's a really great program. Again, here's our structure. We do organization and structure, our book study or personal development, metaphysics or business, questions I get, overcoming fear and resistance. Saturday is systems and teams, and Sunday is empowerment if you join us, okay? And you can also use this as your own guide. If your Financial Friday, make sure you're organized, getting that ILD number every Friday. But you can see that here. We have some tools that we use. We'll go through those in a minute. And then we have a book study. Every month we do a book study within the coaching structure. But let's say you want to go to Friday, January 6th. Basically what you want to do is just click this hyperlink right here, and it's going to take you to the January 6th date, okay? Again, you want to go back to home. You can go to any place you want to. You want to go to October. Let's go to October 29th here, and we can go to October 29th, and we can get into the system, okay? So that's where you can do your planning and organizing that way. But let's go ahead and go into January. Let's say we just started the month. There are some ideas and thoughts you have here. And then a lot of times we have some tools that you can utilize. But let's go through the basic daily structure. We're going to have a focus for the day. Maybe you're going to organize. Maybe you're going to work on it, or you're going to make things happen. That would be what you could do. Sacred 6 is what you could do as far as things you're going to get done. And you can progress nicely through those. And basically what you want to do is write the 6 things you're going to do. This actually comes from Ivy Lee years ago in an Earl Nightingale study that I did way back when in the 80s and changed my life. And basically you're going to write the 6 things down. You're going to start on number 1, not move to number 2 until number 1's done. And whatever you don't get done for the day, you move to the next day. Really powerful system. If you just do one thing, that could be huge for you. Miss to do are miscellaneous, like pick up milk and those type of things that you could do. AM gratitude is where the things that you're grateful for. And then the schedule here is the things you're going to do for the day. Yes, you may have a calendar. Yes, you may have it all set up somewhere else, but this is to kind of get your day organized. This is the first thing you do. You listen to Morning Coach, to the Coachcast, and then you start looking at what you need to do for the day. It sets up your day. Consistency. This is a great area. This is awesome. We are going to be adding some other habit trackers, but for now, you just write in what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to stop drinking. Maybe you're trying to learn guitar. Maybe you're studying Spanish, and what you're going to do is just put a positive or negative number in there and keep track of your consistency. Goals, pretty self-explanatory. This is a reminder of why you're doing what you're doing, what keeps you motivated. Reading is what you're reading. You know, we have a book study every month, and then we have our notes. A couple areas down here, positive moments. These are where we're going to keep track of our wins, really critical as we manifest new things in our life. And then a 5-minute visualization before bed. That actually comes from Wayne Dyer. One of my mentors got to know Dr. Wayne before he passed away, Dr. Dyer. And he always said 5 minutes before your bed, you want to visualize. So you just put a couple notes there. That's what that's for. And then we have a journal. This is where you're going to write in your journal, and you're going to track and discuss things that you want to. And then obviously you go to the next page. On Sundays, which January 1st happens to be, you're going to go and do a weekly review. There's some very powerful questions in here that you ask, and these are some things you're going to do. You're just going to review some things to kind of see where you're at, what's going on, what's happening, your consistency, what are your KPIs, how are your goals, and really what's happening. We got a great thing called a rosebud thorn, kind of what do you need to work at, what's your corrective measures, some Sacred 6 reviews, and some wins of a week. Very, very powerful review to do on a Sunday. Really great. And then you just get back at it again, and then you're ready to go. As you get the system in place, you should be able to do this in 5 minutes in the morning and really be organized and on top of things. Again, you can use Evernote templates. You can use this. You can use your iPad. I typically use iPad Notability. I'll do another video on that soon. I really like it. Use your reMarkable too. This interactive planner works with anything, okay? So it's great. And so you just come in here. We now have our planner. We've got our ideas and thoughts in March. And then as we start March, we can come through and we get into the 1st of March and we get rolling with it. So the Get It Done Now planner, really the homepage is where you're going to spend a lot of time. You've got plenty of notes in here that you can make notes of things that you want to keep. And let's say you have a note on 29. Again, I use my finger always. it takes me right there to the homepage. Let's say you have a tough decision to make. You go to one of your decision-making templates and you utilize that, and you're good to go. And then let's say it's March 3rd. You just click March, and you go back to March 3rd here, and you are good to go. And let's just get it there. There's March 3rd, and we're back in March 3rd. So that's the Evernote Get It Done Now planner for the reMarkable 2 that I wanted to get together for you. I love it. Let's do it to it. Let's get using this to live your best life yet. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. You are awesome. So the next thing you need to do is just make sure you hit that subscribe. That's my face up there, and support us with these videos. It helps us when you subscribe and you hit that alert bell and you watch the videos. It really does make a difference. And you can also comment. That helps. And then, of course, the next video in the series is down here. You can just click that video and watch the next video. And I appreciate you being a part of this community. All right, lots of love to you. Until the next video, have a great one.